Started here, and again, this is pre-recorded, so if any technical issues pop off, people have dropped bandwidth issues, stuff like that. Let's keep rolling. We could edit and post, and then again, we'll produce this. You get a look at it before it hits the streets, and then we'll tag in all the social stuff from there. Okay. All right. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Salute to Industries. I'm here today with Nick. I hope I pronounced this right. I didn't ask you. Is it Busse?
It is Busse.
Busse. I had a 50-50.
I'll take that, though. That's fine.
Busse. It is Busse. Nick Busse from company LeafFilter. Now, very interesting company. And before we dive in, I want to thank you, Nick, for coming on and taking the time to chat with us and talk to the audience about what LeafFilter is. So let's tee that one right up and just have you jump into talking about the company a little bit. Introduce the company, please, and yourself.
LeafFilter is a very unique company. It's an Ohio-based company. Of course, our business is nationwide, and it's spreading as we speak. It's a professionally installed gutter filtering system, and it filters out all the debris and allows all the water and the snow melt to move freely. And another thing that's unique about it is it's that type of company where you have your product installed, but you can have your ladders go up by us, and you'll never have to go up again. So it's a lifetime product. It's great events for the house, and it really helps for those people who don't want to have the risk of going up and down their ladders and taking care of their gutters.
Yeah, the thing I love about it, it's just so simple, right? It's one of those ideas like, oh man, I should have thought of that. But you had people, because Matt Collick beat you to it. So I mean, they've been around since 2005. For those who don't know, and what an expansion story. I mean, these are one of those home run stories, right? Born out of his basement in 2005, and now you're across the United States and sprinkled into Canada even.
Yes, yeah, we started out in Ohio. We're all over the Midwest and East Coast, and we put quite a few offices and services in the West Coast. And as we speak, we're actually having another headquarters in Las Vegas that I believe it's operating now, or at least it's about to launch. So we definitely are really taking control of the whole aspect of the map and making sure that our service is there for everybody to have.
Well, you're a West Coast guy, so I'm sure you'll be visiting the Vegas office quite a bit. Oh, such a tough life Nick has. But let's dive into what opportunities now. Doing some research on you guys. You're in over a couple hundred markets, 250 markets. Mm-hmm. There's 356 opportunities that I tracked down on the web for jobs, and let's talk through those a little bit. I mean, I'll run through I've seen installation positions, sales positions, call center positions, event marketing positions, and corporate positions. So everybody's like, oh, gutter installation, not very sexy. But hey, you don't have to be on the ladder, right? You could be the install guy. You could be the corporate guy. Talk to us a little bit about what positions that you guys have.
Well, I mean, we have a little bit of everything, just like you said. Of course, our business is a construction-related business. We do have a lot of installation. So I guess with that department, we are looking for a lot of installation managers, those that can manage the operations within the company, within that office of the area. And of course, we do have installers, subcontractors that do install our product. But of course, most people think, okay, like you said, this is a LeafFilter gutter system, and what else is there else to do? Well, we do have corporate, we do have a call center, we do have a sales team, we do have a recruiting team. Everything that makes up a company and a corporation, we do have. And you may not see that, but that's where I come in and I express our open opportunities. And I work directly actually with military veterans, post-military separated, and currently transitioning service members. And our company is actually creating programs to this day and programs in the future to incorporate more military talent, to really alleviate the issue and stress of not just transitioning, but for our talent, basically our talent pool. We want to have hardworking veterans who have leadership, who have all the things that you develop while you're in during your time of service or your tour. And we believe that's a big value to the team. So we've really developed a lot of programs to incorporate that.
Well, and that's the appeal too, right? I mean, I was on an interview this week earlier, and the gentleman was touching on, they've had such a hard time in the public sector hiring people because of the lack of discipline, people just not showing up to work. basic stuff that like, oh, well, that's kind of intrinsic to us in the military, right? Like we have that discipline factor. So, you know, a lot of companies like picking from our pool, but you know, some interesting stats I want to bring to light too. So if people out there who love, I mean, installation, you know, get your hands dirty. Yeah, you can do that stuff. I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm a journeyman electrician myself. I love building stuff. So if you like to work with the hands, I mean, this probably shouldn't be that technical. It should be something easy, get to work outside. The sales aspect, this I thought pretty interesting. I mean, I'm a sales guy too, business development guy. I've owned a couple of businesses in my time, but you get preset appointments sent to you. You guys have over a 50% close ratio. I mean, the top guys are averaging like 60%. I mean, come on. What an opportunity.
Yeah, we, you know, if you look at the numbers, and I don't have them in front of me right now, but I do look at a weekly, even a daily report on how we're doing, how well our sales are doing, what offices and locations that we are at, and how well those offices are doing. And you know, it's just crazy because I wake up, and even though I'm not in sales, and I work strictly with the recruiting department and veterans, I still see these numbers and it's like, wow, like how are we generating so many sales? How are we? Our business is just everywhere. It's growing. And if you look at it, and based on the information and data that I know, before I existed, you look at how many offices we had and how many offices we have added within, say, the last 6 years or so, right? Just this last year alone, we have had pretty much matched the same amount of offices we did for those prior 6 years this year. So it shows the growth is crazy. And it's a great opportunity for anybody who wants to work for the company because it is still a growing company and it has a high success rate.
Well, I mean, there's tons of homes. I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot of competition in this sector. You guys have some patents to your products that give you some protection, 20-year protection run rate. You're at 15, so you got another few years left on that patent, but I'm sure there's going to be some people cutting into that at some point. But you know what? Matt did it right. Kudos to Matt, right? Way to structure the business. Look at you guys booming in this type of environment right now.
The name is everywhere. And you know what? I didn't even know we had a NASCAR until maybe the beginning of this year. And Matt Callig is posting the Callig Racing photos of the LeafFilter of the car. I'm just like, I mean, we're everywhere. At first, I always saw the company's name so often, and then now I can't turn on the news, Super Bowl, or a sports event without seeing the commercial going right through.
Which I love. I mean, doing the research on you guys, I was like, wow, and even being on your website, and I've talked to a lot of different corporations from IBM to very cybersecurity oriented people, security companies. It's all about and people looking for work these days. It's a lot about cultural fit, right? You guys want to have a great culture, and you guys seem to have that. I mean, the lax, I don't want to say lax, but casual environment. The guy started a racing team. I mean, come on, a couple of years back, which has been winning. It had its first win in 2019. So I mean, that's fabulous. It's just a testament to how the company's structured this. That's the owner, people. That's Matt Callig. That's the owner of the company. I mean, this is this guy doing it. So from the top down, you guys have a very fun environment. Now let's jump into some of the recognitions because of all of this that they do and the culture that they have and the work that Nick and his team does in the veteran space. Let's pivot right into, the fun stuff here. We got through the jobs part, but talk to us about what's happening later on today. And for those out there looking and watching, today is January 28th. What's going to be taking place?
Oh, yeah, today's a really exciting day. I wish I could be there. It's so far away, but it's a great achievement for the company. LeafFilter was recognized by an association called the Military Officers Association of America.
Oh, yeah, we know them. That's right.
Yes, and there's a lot of chapters out there. They do a lot of good things, and this organization likes to recognize people for an impact on the veteran community. And with that being said, I was approached by Mr. Bancroft, who's in charge of the Halifax chapter over in Florida, and he's presenting us with an award today. It's the Impact of the Veteran Community Award for our efforts, and what the efforts were that were recognized were our programs that we developed at the beginning of 2020 and here on out to hire veterans during their transition, in a program that we built specifically to tailor military talent into our roles, and some that we train. It's being held at the Daytona Halifax Yacht Club, River Yacht Club right now. Some pretty cool people there, some big people, political figures, some news cameras, and just an overall good unit of cohesion going on right now within that room. So it's great to be honored and accept that award for such an organization that's so big around this country.
Now let's unpack that a little bit, because this is born out of the SkillsBridge Network program, right? I mean, this is you guys that you started in there. For those in the audience, I want to explain a little bit more about what that is. So SkillsBridge is a DoD program that essentially people can enter in their 6 months period to departure, start looking and getting involved in businesses and internships and opportunity, if you will, leading up to their separation. So this is part of the program. LeafFilter is part of that program. It's an internship that transitions them into our mentor program called Leaf Home Vet Connect. Is that correct?
That is actually our new program that we're building. So the one that we've been that's active now, that we've been working on, and actually has been active since 2020, early mid 2020, has been successful, and that's actually called the LeafFilter Transition Assistance Program, also known as LTAP, and it is built off the platform of the Department of Defense SkillBridge program. And what this program is designed for companies to, one, take part in it and use their platform, use their rules, use their guidelines that are set by the Department of Defense, but also so that we can find military talent during their transition. And what we do is we take, or at least we allow, about 4 to 6 months, that's the remaining of a service member's term, to come and hang up the uniform, get their foot in the door in the corporate world, and really just be able to be trained on something that they can pursue after their transition has been complete. What we found that is not only is the talent really important to incorporate in the company, it's beneficial to us, but it's beneficial to the veteran themselves. And coming from a guy who transitioned in 2019, I can't even tell you how many times I've applied, try to find a mentor, the stress, pulling your hair out, all these things that come with it, identity crisis, and just not knowing what's going on and even know what LinkedIn is. So what we do is we identify all those who are transitioning. We reach out to them on a social media way of communicating, or any way that we can. And we find people who are looking to transition to a company. We talk about locations, and we talk about the position and the role, how we'll train them with a high success rate of offering them employment afterwards. And that's what we do. And we've actually had 100% success rate.
Wow, congratulations.
We have 100% offers so far, and I hope it stays that way. But every person who's completed their SkillBridge training, whether it's 4, 5, or 6 months, have an offer. So now that they're officially hanging up that jacket, they are now a civilian, gainfully employed, and trained in that role. So we use that program to find military talent as an internship. Now the Vet Connect is a different thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I wasn't quite clear on that distinction. So thanks for putting that together. Now let's pivot out of that. And I mean, you teed it up perfectly. Let's talk about the Vet Connect. I mean, you've been at the center of all this since you've departed. Then, so these are that new. You've helped develop all of this then, while you've been there, huh?
This is why I was hired. Actually, our human resources officer, he really wanted me to be a recruiter, but then realized my resume had a little bit something else in there, right? And that's a lot of military recruiting experience, and I believe what he was thinking and the company was thinking is that they'd love to incorporate the military, but how do we do that? So I came up with some ideas, and one was SkillBridge, and from there on, that's all I've been doing is developing programs within our talent sector to get these people in. We then decided that we wanted to match the culture of the service members within the company. I think you mentioned something about culture, and that's really important for someone to transition out of the military and feel like they're at home inside of a company. And I know firsthand, I've tried this before, and I know a lot of people.
Right. You just went through it.
Yeah,
Right.
I've even written an article on Vets to Industry. Thank you, Brian Arrington, for allowing me to do so. That talks about that. And when we find a company that has a welcoming atmosphere that matches the culture, the retention is going to be a lot higher. It's going to be better. We're going to keep them. And also, really, it builds esprit de corps and morale. So what we did is came up with what's called Vet Connect, or Leaf Home Vet Connect. And that is going to be structured like the military. We created our own hats, and I can show you if you want to see it. We got our own military hats. We have our own military shirts that have veteran on the back with our logo. And we have our own challenge coin as well. And you as a Marine,
those challenge coins.
yeah, you know as a Marine that a challenge coin is important, and it's also, it's a good transfer of power, or it's also can be used as a reward. And we want to have that type of value inside our company. Vet Connect is actually designed to have mentorship, veteran resources, and we structure it like much like the military. We have a Western division, a Central division, and an Eastern division, with a division leader tailored to each one and assigned. And within each division, we're going to actually have basically your non-commissioned officer, your NCO, or / your mentor, 3 in each division that will cover 3 different important parts of being a veteran. One is the veteran's resources, whether it could be mental health, whether it could be the comprehensive caregiver program. We have one person that's going to be covering new programs that come in or they're incorporated with the VA. And then there will be a third one that we're going to identify, might be new VA news, new things that are going on, such as the vaccine shots that they're offering to veterans.
Right.
So we did that to be able to have people to be part of a community still. And we're going to rotate them every 6 months so everyone gets a chance to try and take that spot and lead the program.
But that's powerful. I mean, because you created your own military, what do we call it? Hiring program plus culture inside of the company. So, not a lot of businesses have that set up internally. I know IBM has one. So I'm comparing you guys to like a Fortune 500 business. I mean, IBM's got one. I don't see a lot of other businesses do, but they do exist. That's very unique to see those. So applaud you on developing that. I mean, that's very important. I think a lot of us appreciate that. We always seek that camaraderie following service, right? I mean, it's just something that we kind of gravitate to. So to have that set up, that's just gonna, do well inside of your environment and keep people around longer, build a great team. That you got a little competition going on. I see.
Yeah. There's quite a few companies that are doing the same thing. I don't know if they're mimicking us. If they are, then I feel complimented.
You should. Hats off to you. Yes.
We utilize a couple of resources that are really important for viewers to know about, and one is Vets to Industry, which is kind of like bridging the gap between other veteran resources. So if someone wants to know, how do I reach out to all these recruiters who are looking for military veterans, or who have programs like SkillBridge, they all meet to Vets to Industry. Brian Arrington on LinkedIn, you can find him there.
That's how we found you. That's right.
He was the first guy to recruit me for a different job that I ended up not taking. Sorry, Brian.
Well, he's famously done that to hundreds of people. So, right?
Yeah, he'll get you in your face. If you need help, he's there. And David Shantz, and I hope I didn't pronounce it wrong, Shantz or Shantz. David, he's a huge advocate for the SkillBridge, and he's always there helping people out. So we stay connected with both of them at all times.
Well, and we just started participating in those in the last few months ourselves. We got some stuff in the works with Brian ourselves from VetJobs. So we look forward to working and collaborating with those guys this next year and bringing more to the marketplace. But I certainly appreciate the time. Before we wrap, I want to touch one more place I wanted to talk about. The top workplaces that you guys receive recognition for as well. Can you touch on that? And it kind of lends to the whole conversation that we've had about the culture and the environment that you have going on at the company.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the top places to work for because one of the culture, the welcoming environment, work life, and work life balance is pretty good with this company. So we have a lot of people that stay with us, and pretty much that blue collar feel that we have. It really puts off an attractive I guess, image for people to see. So when people come to us and they want to work for us, through many different ways of analyzing, how their experience is through surveys or whatever it may be, the answer is always usually very positive. And we've been recognized for that. And just to shed light on that, I don't think I could ever ask for a better job than what I have now. I've experienced many different changes of responsibility, command, different soldiers in the military world. Here, I don't get that chance. Here, I'm with the same people, right?
Right.
And I'm with the same people at all times doing my same job. It's important to have a company that is always welcoming, everyone gets along, and you just really enjoy being there. And that's exactly what this company is all about. And everyone loves to be here, including myself. And I think that's why we've pretty much been in that light.
And I think that was a great point for us to end on. And I'm going to drop this link in here for everybody for looking for career opportunities. Again, they're in over 250 markets across America, coast to coast, and Canada. Let's not forget our brothers up north up there. So we've got some of those. I don't know how many military veterans are hanging out up there, but they can also look for opportunities there. But congratulations on your success in finding that. I know you went through your own journey recently, Nick. And let's look forward to doing some more work together this year and get you ingrained in the work that we have over here at VetJobs. But I appreciate your time today, sir. We'll call it a wrap there, and we look forward to a greater 2021 with you guys.
Absolutely, Don. Thank you.